Past the Amish store.
Was that your, that wasn't your last threat? was it?
No, there was, yep, this was,
And another one is, it has two cards, and its threats are talking about traffic in the Beltway, South Point with the population growth and expansion, traffic. And they're talking about the new road improvements. That has two parts. And the last one was just one card. It said not allowing new residents a chance to give their new opinions.
my daughter's little township still does that little welcoming kit when new people move. There's a couple of seniors that is like on the historical committee that are to the committee. She moved into a historical home, so maybe that's why.
Okay, so for threats, we have too much residential development, poor zoning, not enough green spaces, coal valley, oil and gas overdevelopment, traffic, and opportunities to give opinions. Any other threats?
I would add water control or MS4 or
Okay.
just water has become such an issue with the township.
So you're talking stormwater drainage?
Yeah,
basically.
but then also the roads and the berms of the roads and the erosion that's happening on a lot of our roads that's being affected, and it's just become a real issue.
Yep.
There'd be lack of stormwater infrastructure too.
Correct.
We've talked about traffic and water, and maybe first responders would kind of coincide with that when you're talking about police or you're talking about firefighters and things like that, to build that up enough to be able to match whatever the needs of the community are.
So the local government supporting infrastructure needs to grow.
Yeah.
I think coordination with the different entities, the PennDOT, Turnpike, because as we were talking, I knew when the Turnpike Beltway came here to Cecil didn't, none of the local government had any conditions, where I know Peters had conditions, because I work in Peters and had conditions, and North Strabane had conditions, and everything got met, and here, those poor residents on the McDonald's side coming up through Cecil.
I heard them, it was really sad.
And still other places, and even the bottom of our road. I mean, that, I have called, and there's they respond like that, because I've called onto the DEP numerous times, because they put all their stormwater, and the rain comes, and it's right in the road, and you're running over it. They're good about cleaning it up now. I've talked to enough people, they know I'm gonna call them, so they get it.
Okay, this is good. It's a good start. It's a good list. We got one more exercise to do in 5 minutes. I've got a red marker. We're going to pick 2 priorities from each category. Okay? And this is not setting the priorities forevermore, but we've got to get a pulse, and we've got to start having this conversation about what our focus is. We've got a couple dozen items up here. We're not going to be able to spend hours and hours and hours chewing through each one. So let's start with strengths. We've got community, rural character, parks and trails, accessibility, lowish taxes, South Point, rural road maintenance, affordable, room for growth, available land for growth, that's probably the same thing, local government, decent tax base, school district, fire, volunteer, police department, and EMS, and 100 miles of roads. What top 2 things do you think that we need to really focus on and build on as the strengths of Cecil Township?
I think the number one in community is a big part of it.
Everybody good with that being one?
Yeah.
What was it?
Community, the small town feel, the family, diverse, safe community.
It's already the #1 place to live.
Yes.
That's what
Bishop.
Number 2,
Parks and trails, our partner, because that's going to tie in a lot of your other opportunities and for newer families. So the Parks and Recreation
I would agree.
should be.
Is there any-
community?
I like-
Yeah, people want to move in because they have access to parks and trails, something to do.
I like the low taxes. I think that's a tremendous asset. We haven't raised taxes in how many years? And
Okay.
Can we pick
that
three?
should be a priority. I mean,
We could do 3. Does the group feel like we need to do 3? I mean, keeping the taxes low and the parks and trails are all things that attract people in development.
Our municipal taxes haven't changed since, the millage since 1993, I believe.
Yeah, but you still have to add on, I have to pay for a street light, a fire hydrant, I have to pay my own garbage. I mean, you add that into my township tax, and I don't think it's a good deal.
That's
I pay a lot.
That-
You pay a
I
lot
don't
of
have any.
extra. I know, if
guess
you
I
don't
don't
have
have
it, you don't get it. But I mean, when you add on what we have,
We have our
to
lines.
pay
but not
Looking at
our
this
money.
list, if we identify our top strengths as community, parks, and low taxes, is that what Cecil is all about in terms of right now our strengths?
Tax collector says no.
I think government, I think we have to, when she says you're not heard, I'm not
Okay.
thinking.
I mean, I agree with that, yeah.
Weaknesses.
Oh, I think so too, but it.
Development, perception, management and leadership, water and sewer, and roads. What top 2 weaknesses must we
I
address?
think management, if you get management, the other ones are gonna follow.
Management and leadership, agreed?
Yes.
Okay.
development.
I think-
Development's gonna come if you.
What about
put
water
management
and, water and sewer? You can't live without water and
Yeah.
sewer.
That's a very good point.
natural
Water and
gas
sewer is
gas lines.
very
So
important.
many people struggle with not having
I mean,
gas.
can
You
we even
expand
just make
water
this
and
one
sewer,
water,
I
sewer,
would
and
say
roads?
you just put like the infrastructure.
Yeah, it's infrastructure.
Water, sewer, and gas.
And
Yeah,
gas,
yeah.
utilities, all
That covers
utilities.
all of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So our 2 top weaknesses are management and leadership and infrastructure.
Yes.
Okay. Opportunities, business development, the Beltway, natural resources, additional housing, senior high-rise, Cold Valley, Montour Trail School District, Destination Point, and village redevelopment. What are our top 2 opportunities? Sorry, this is in your way.
Business development, number 1.
Business development? Business development?
And I think that ties with the destination.
Yeah, they're probably related, so let's pick a different one. We'll put another top.
Somehow combine the senior, the school district, and you somehow combine them,
That's
like,
why
because
you
you
don't
need
have low
the
income.
combination of both.
Helping the old and the young.
Both,
Yeah, the old and the young, yeah. I think the senior is, that's,
because you're gonna
So
have
true, yeah.
community centers with both, and you wanna build.
You could actually connect 4 of the 3 of those, the additional houses, the senior, and the school, because
Yep.
people move into an area for the school and the seniors or something that you want to keep the family together in your community on your strengths.
I'm sorry, can you read number 2, because I can't read it?
Beltway, increased
Oh.
access, new business, availability to move people in and out of township.
Okay, I'm
Sick
sorry,
good
thank
one
you.
too, though.
So when you're saying 4, 5, and 8, you're really saying destination in a different way?
Mhm. What? Yes, I think so.
No, 4, 5, and 8 is additional housing.
Well, yeah, but that's why people move to the communities, that's why I'm saying destination, not like a thing to do, but they know that they can go here, they know that their kids can be here, they know that their parents can be here, like, they
You
know.
have a cracker plant coming up that's going to provide a lot of jobs, so you want to have people have a place to live in, if they can move to Cecil
Yeah.
Township.
They
and
can move their
work.
whole family.
So that would make number 3, the 3rd one down, natural resources.
In every generation.
And I think we have to have the Beltway. It's okay that we have more than 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have them all.
Because everybody wants to talk about the opportunities. That's okay. All right, what are our top threats? Too much residential development, poor zoning, green spaces, Coal Valley, oil and gas overdevelopment, traffic, new residential, new residents, MS4, local government supporting infrastructure, and local state government cooperation.
I
Traffic
think,
is one.
Traffic.
Traffic and
Traffic.
zoning, so too much
Zoning.
residential development, go with the zoning.
Yes.
I find
Yeah,
that-
1 and 2 are for sure
I
together.
think number 2
One is
part of number 1 also.
And traffic.
Sorry, Elizabeth, we interrupted you, you
No,
were
that's
starting
Very
to talk.
different from what we just said in the
I just-
opportunity, so
What's that?
too much
John.
residential development.
Yeah, we're gonna have to-
And you understand what I'm saying, it's like a.
Yep.
John, I think there's something that needs to be added either under weaknesses or threats,
Mhm.
and it's the lack of paid firefighters.
Mhm.
It's a national crisis,
Yes, it is.
and Cecil Township is right in there with that crisis.
Paid firefighters.
Because how many volunteer fire departments are in Cecil itself?
There are three fire
I wasn't sure if it was
departments.
3 or 4.
Three.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big
And
issue.
Jan
contract.
mentioned before on weaknesses, she just mentioned lack of public, there's no public transportation in the township.
Yep.
Good point.
I think that's a good one.
Like, I don't understand why, like, Allegheny County can have Port Authority, Washington County can't have it.
What's the little
I
bus
don't
that
know.
does not to, like, what is that? Oh, I do see it every once in a while. What is it? It's
That
a
little
little,
black
it's
bus.
a little
What
black
the heck's
bus
the
that
name of
comes
that?
from Washington County.
Freedom, yes.
Freedom.
Green taxi, what's that? The green taxi?
Yes, a taxi.
That one's a
yes,
good
paid
taxi
access.
service, that one's
Well,
paid.
And I
but-
know we
Freedom
have
bus
Uber,
that comes
we do have
from
Uber,
Washington
but
out to
there
McDonald
isn't.
and comes
Uber.
along.
So
Yeah,
in terms of
public transportation would be able to move people in for jobs, take them back to other places to live, right? That's part of what you were
Well,
driving
what I'm
at.
talking about,
There
the
might be
Freedom
an-
Bus is a little thing that goes through the villages and that stops. I'm talking about like,
Regular
right,
transportation.
there is a Washington transportation like that picks up people in Canonsburg that takes them to
Right.
Pittsburgh to work.
Yeah, and that can be a goal out of the plan can be to develop that type of a system 10 years into the future. You know, maybe there's an opportunity to team with Canonsburg, like Butler. I know in Butler, in the city of Butler, and Butler Township, which is almost like a Cecil Township, they team together on an authority. There's a bus authority up there. So
Right.
those
Or-
things can happen.
Or like with Port Authority, we have that, that's another thing to say, but we have that park and ride.
Right.
The Port Authority comes up there to turn around and picks up all those
Sure.
people up in Morganza Road. So that helps in the morning too, to move them
Yeah.
into Pittsburgh to work.
So in terms of threats, too much residential development, poor zoning kind of go together. That's sort of a development pattern issue, and then traffic. And Andy talked about, is it hypocritical, talk about we see opportunities for development, but then we have too much residential development. So that's what you think about between now and probably 2 meetings from now. You think about that balancing act. I want you to look at other communities and see how they've been successful or not, and what you like or don't like about development in other communities. I also need you to do some soul searching in terms of when do you close the gate, because this, believe me, I've done this in communities all over Western PA. You're not unique. Everybody has this challenge, and it's, well, I like the development after my house was built, no more, right? So when do you close the gate? And the answer is you never close the gate because you can't legally, right? So you're always going to develop, and it's how you're going to develop is what this plan is really going to set into motion. So you're going to be all big lot residential development, are you going to be mixed use, are you going to have industrial? So it's how you're going to develop it, not whether you're going to develop or not. And next time we're going to talk about public engagement, so get your stakeholder or your key person identified, email and phone number I need for them as well, so bring them to your meeting. And our next meeting is July 24th. We do have on the agenda public comment. Sir, do you have anything to add to the discussion?